So to start off, the Creative Kingdom Society, this is a society of people who are really super fans of the creators behind the magic, not just the creators who create the actual magic, those that are the Imagineers, the people, the filmmakers, the artists, all those kinds of people that are creating the magic there, but also the fans of it that have then gone and created their own creations, the YouTubers, the Instagrammers, the artists, the Etsy artists, all those kind of people, the podcasters. And here we are today, this first episode. What we wanted to do is brought on Chuck Schofield. He's going to be with us almost every episode. And he's going to be interviewing me today. And we're going to just talk about what this whole thing is, what the vision of it is. And thank you for coming along with the ride. I hope that you enjoy this. Hope you have fun with it. So Chuck, take it away.
Thanks, Jake. I'm super excited to be here. I always love talking with you about whatever tidbit of Disney history or theme park history or news or updates we hear about nearly weekly, sometimes several times a week. So I'm always excited to have those conversations with you. Usually they're not in front of an audience. That's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking and anxiety-inducing, but at least we're all here together in a collective community of like-minded fans, right? And so I'm really fascinated by what you want to do here with regards to looking at what takes a fan to from a position of just consuming entertainment and consuming the content, whether it's just passively or actively or with varying degrees of fanaticism. What makes them cross that line to then producing more content? Like there's a magic sweet spot in there. Like we know a lot of fans, a lot of people are fans. A lot of this themed space, they're intended for general audiences. Great, that's awesome. There's a million vlogs out there about that. But what is it that makes the consumer consume enough to then produce and add to the creative collective conversation? I'm fascinated with that one little piece from a social science perspective or whatever. But so what I wanted to ask you today, not just for my own benefit, but I think for the benefit of anyone watching or listening, why are you doing this? Why now? What's your background as a fan? What pushed you over that edge to then add to the conversation like this? Why do you want to explore these other creators? And why did you drag me along?
So that's a loaded question there. First of all, I'm a big believer in having fun. I'm a big believer in fun and enjoyment. And look, we can go to the parks, we can do those kinds of things, but I'm more interested in what's going on behind the scenes and also the community of people that are those super fans. Like people look at like the annual pass holder crowd, and sometimes they look at them as, I know a lot of out of towners look at them with frustration and look at them in that kind of way. But we've had this conversation before. It's almost like Disneyland is a country club. It's almost like the country club where people get to go and experience something, and not just experience something, but get to connect with other people. I'm a people person by nature, and I'm really obsessed with the people behind something, people who are doing things, the people who are creating things. And after a long time of watching, I just wanted to be involved. And I wanted to feature these people to show not just like the people behind the magic when we look at like official Disney creations. Also, we'll be talking about other themed entertainment as well. We made this joke earlier. We were talking about how, yeah, it's going to be all themed entertainment, but it's going to be mostly Disney. And that's just because that's where our fandom is. Not to mean it's necessarily the best, or maybe that's yours, but that's ours. That's what we're the most into. Um, but I'm so interested in the people who are creating the podcast, creating the YouTube channels, doing the Instagram pages, all of those kinds of things. And I think a lot of it is because it revived my obsession with the magic. I've always been a huge fan of the Disney parks. I've always been, at an obsessive level, But really, for most of my 20s, I kind of was just more of like a fan, even though in my teens it was obsessive level. But in most of my 20s, I just kind of was a fan. And then about 7 years ago, that really changed, and I got back into it heavy. And it was really the creators who are creating the content about the creations. It's the YouTubers, it's the podcasters. That's what got me back into it. So that, I don't know, that's my rambled answer of why.
No, that's good, man. And that why is important, and that why is special. I look forward to either hypothetically guessing and thinking about the why behind a lot of these content creators with you in these conversations. But ultimately, I would love to ask them all and
Yeah.
invite them all on the program and ask them that question, like, what is it that made you go from being a fan consuming the content to a fan who then added to that conversation? But so in that light, in light of the fact that we've said the word creative or creator several times already, or collaborative, or other C words like that. Tell me a little more about the name, how we came up with the name, what you're hoping to allude to with the Creative Kingdom Society.
Yeah, well, so that was definitely a collaborative effort between me, you, and my wife Caitlin, together creating this thing, and I love that idea, doing things together. It, Side note, you said why you, like, why did I want you to be involved in it? And the truth is in my profession, I'm by myself. I'm a solo entrepreneur. I'm doing, yeah, I have people that I work with and do those kinds of things, but I really wanted to be with someone in a collaboration, creative. I love creating things, but when you can create and bounce things back and forth, it's a whole different ball game. And that's kind of goes back to this name. Well, so what did we want to do? First, we talked about the idea of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, and we wanted to allude to that. This idea of this being a society of people, but then also this idea of like, well, what's something that can represent what we're talking about? We don't really want to have Disney in the name because we don't own the rights to that, and that's kind of murky water. But also, we want to represent other themed entertainment as well. In August, I'm going to a really quaint and beautiful little theme park called the Enchanted Forest. And I'd love to take pictures and make a video or two, share some of those things. But that's not necessarily, or it's not necessarily, it's definitely not. It's not a Disney property, but we still wanted to talk about who are these people that are involved in this thing. And we thought, well, we have the Magic Kingdom. How about we call this, we're a part of the Creative Kingdom and the Creative Kingdom Society. Now, if you're watching this, you're a part of the Creative Kingdom Society because you're at that level of fandom that you're watching this super niche video, meaning you're at that level that you're a part of this. I remember the first time I saw these people with denim jackets with a patch behind it, and I went, who are these people? And I started talking to them. There was a social club called the Neverlanders, and I thought, wow, that's so cool. It's this social club based around Disney, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could create something? And in all honesty, that's so cool that they're doing that. But when I talked to them about like, hey, can I be a part of this? It was pretty exclusive, and there's a lot of hoops to be a part of this. And I thought, well, what if we create something? Caitlin and I have been talking about this for a long time. What if we created something that was a place for anyone who wanted to be a part of this society, the society of people who, if you're obsessed, if you've watched the Imagineering story more than once, more than two times, well, then you're a part of the Creative Kingdom
You know
Society.
what? You know what? If you've watched it at all, if
If
you
that's probably
if
true.
you've watched it at all, yeah. No, but I love that answer, man, and I love that. I love that. You know, examples. Some examples of people who are motivated or inspired by the content to go out and do something more, and add to, and be inspired to act. So some examples are very visual, like those social clubs were. And I wonder if they're going to even come back, or how that's going to be handled with annual passes or whatever. But I'd love to explore that in future episodes. I'd love to
Absolutely.
interview
Let's find
social club people, or
let's find the founders of those people and talk to them.
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to do that. If that's you, reach out to us.